the best night. Yeah, keep spinning. Keep spinning.
How did one funny dance turn into me getting served papers in a public lobby with my co-workers watching? Why did my husband stay calm for weeks, then hit me with a legal result that started the same day? I thought I could control the story, until the story came with dates, receipts, and rules. My name is Eulalie Sorrell, but most people called me Eula. I was 33. I worked as a client coordinator at a marketing agency, so I knew how stories worked. I knew what people wanted to see. They wanted a clean hero and a clear villain. I learned to give them that. That night, we went to a rooftop bar downtown for Mara's birthday. The place had soft lights, glass rails, and music that made it easy to laugh too loud. The wind was cold, but it felt good on my face. I told myself I was the kind of wife who still had a life. Graham came with me. He was my husband, and he always showed up. He wore the same dark jacket he wore to family dinners. He looked like he was ready to help someone move a couch, not ready to be seen. I liked that in a way. It made me look brighter. Mara hugged me and said I looked tired. I said I was fine, and I just needed a fun night. She hugged Graham too, but it was quick. She asked him if he was going to act normal tonight. He said he was normal every day. Mara laughed like he told a joke, but I knew she meant it as a warning. We got a tall table near the railing. Mara's friends were there, plus a few people from my office. Someone put a phone on the table right away, face down, like it was a plate. That is how night started now. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it was just life. Graham asked if we could keep it simple tonight. I said it was Mara's birthday and he should loosen up. He asked if I could not tease him in front of people. I said he took everything as a personal attack. I said it was exhausting to walk on eggshells around his feelings. I said it with a small smile, so it sounded gentle. Mara raised a glass and asked everyone to make a toast. People clapped. She said she wanted a fun story for her birthday. She looked right at me when she said it, like we shared a plan. I told the table that Graham was sweet but too serious, and that I had to teach him how to live. People laughed. One of my co-workers asked if Graham was always like that. I said he was worse at home. I said he liked rules and schedules. I said he was the kind of man who could ruin a good mood with one sigh. Graham looked down at his drink. He asked why I was saying that. I said it was just a joke and he should laugh with everyone. He said he did not like being the joke. I said he was making the night about himself. I said it in a calm voice, like I was being mature. That was my trick. If I stayed calm, I could say anything. If he reacted, I could point at him and say, "See?" Mara leaned close and asked if Graham had been weird lately. I said he had been distant. She asked if I thought he was jealous. I said he was always jealous, even when there was nothing to be jealous about. That line got a big laugh from the group. Someone repeated it like a quote. I felt warm and powerful. Graham asked if we could go home soon because the kids had school in the morning. I said he was acting like a strict dad at a party. I said we could leave when I was ready. He asked me to stop swearing at him under my breath. I said I was not swearing and he was imagining things. He stared at me like he did not know me. I watched his face and told myself he was overreacting. I told myself he wanted to control me. I told myself I had earned a good night. I worked hard. I carried the mental load. I managed clients and deadlines. I made the calendar in our house. If I wanted to laugh, I had the right. Mara's friend Kelsey pulled out her phone and asked for a quick video. Mara said she wanted everyone to say, "Happy birthday," for a story post. I leaned in, smiling. Graham stayed back. Kelsey asked him to come closer. He said he was fine where he was. Kelsey rolled her eyes and panned the camera away from him like he was furniture. I noticed Graham's hand tighten around his glass. He did not yell. He did not slam anything. He just got quieter. I decided quiet was worse than anger. Quiet meant he was thinking. Quiet meant he was not begging. I hated that feeling. like the floor was moving under me and I could not see it. I leaned toward him and asked why he looked angry. He said he was not angry, just tired. I said he always used tired as an excuse to avoid people. He said he was trying to be polite. I said he was trying to punish me with his mood. He asked how he was punishing me when he was doing nothing. I said doing nothing was the punishment. Mara heard part of it and asked what was happening. I said Graham was being dramatic again. Mara told Graham he should smile more. He said he did not feel like smiling. Mara said I deserved better energy. I nodded like she was protecting me. Later, near the railing, I pointed out the city lights and said it looked romantic. Graham asked if I meant it. I said yes, but he ruined romance by being tense. He said he felt like everyone was laughing at him. I said no one was laughing at him. They were laughing with us. I said he should stop making himself the victim. He asked if I remembered the last time I laughed at him in public. I said I did not remember, because it was not a big deal. He said it was a big deal to him. I said that was his problem. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible stories. When we finally left, he paid without speaking. In the elevator down, he stood far from me, like we were strangers. I told myself he was doing it for attention. I told myself he wanted me to chase him and say sorry. In the car, he asked if I could please not do that again. I said I did not know what that meant. He said I knew. I said he was trying to rewrite the night to make me the bad person. He said he did not want to fight. I said then he should stop starting fights. At home, the hallway was dark. The kids were asleep. Graham carried his shoes to the closet so they would not make noise. He moved like a guest in his own house. That annoyed me. It made me feel like I'd done something wrong, and I did not want that feeling. In the kitchen, I saw his phone on the counter. The screen lit up for a second. I caught a glimpse of a calendar reminder. It said, meeting, personal. I asked what it was. He picked up the phone fast and said it was nothing important. I said he was hiding things now. He said he was just tired and wanted sleep. I said he was being cold. He said he did not have the energy for this. He walked past me and went to the guest room without slamming the door. I stood alone in the kitchen. The house was quiet. I told myself I had won the night. I told myself he would get over it like he always did. But the silence did not feel like victory. It felt like a warning I did not understand yet. The next weekend, Mara texted me and said she wanted a real night out. She said she was still laughing about Graham's face at the rooftop bar. I told her Graham was fine. I told her he only acted hurt because he liked control. I said he always tried to make me feel guilty for being normal. Graham heard me talking in the kitchen. He asked who I was going with. I said it was just Mara and some friends. He asked if it was the same crowd. I said yes, because they were fun and they did not judge me. He asked if I could keep it respectful this time. I said he was acting like my father. He said he did not want to fight, he just wanted peace. I said peace was not the same as me being quiet. I put on a fitted black dress. I did it on purpose. I told myself I needed to feel like a person again, not like a wife who only packed lunches and answered emails. Graham looked at me and asked if I really wanted him to come. I said yes, but I said it in a way that meant no. I said it was good for couples to be social. He nodded like he understood the trap, but walked into it anyway. The club was loud and bright. The bass felt like a hand on my chest. Lights moved across faces like quick jokes. People were already filming when we arrived. Mara waved at the door like she owned the place. She pulled me in and said tonight was going to be legendary. I said I needed that. Graham stayed close at first. He asked if we could find a table. I said tables were for old people. I said we should be on the dance floor. He said he did not like crowds. I said he did not like anything. I laughed when I said it, so it sounded light. Mara laughed too. I felt the group lean toward me and away from him, like gravity. Then I saw Miles. I had not planned that. That is what I told myself right away. I said it in my head like a fact. Miles was by the DJ booth, talking to someone and smiling like he was on camera even when he was not. He wore a white shirt that looked too clean for a club. When he saw me, his face changed. He walked over like he had every right. He asked how I was. I said I was good and married and busy. He said I looked better than ever. I said he always said things like that. He asked if this was my husband. I said yes, and I said it like a warning. Graham held out his hand. Miles shook it and smiled too long. Mara's eyes got big. She asked if that was my ex. I said yes, like it was a fun detail. Mara said it was perfect. She said it was like a movie. I told her to relax. I told myself the same thing. Graham asked if we could move away from the booth. I said why, because he was scared. He said he was not scared, he just did not want trouble. I said no one wanted trouble except him. Miles laughed like it was all cute. A new song started, one Miles liked. He said it was our old song. I said it was not our anything anymore. He said it was just music and asked if I wanted to dance. Graham's jaw tightened. He asked me not to. He said it would look bad. He said it would feel bad. I heard the word feel, and something in me snapped. I was tired of his feelings being the center of my life. I told him he was being jealous and childish. He said it was not jealousy, it was respect. I said respect was not a cage. Mara pulled out her phone. She said people would die for this moment. Someone else lifted a phone too. I could feel eyes around me, waiting. I did not want to be the woman who backed down. I did not want to look owned. So I took Miles's hand. It was a stupid thing. It was also a powerful thing. That is what I told myself in the moment. I told myself it was a joke. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it was just a dance. Miles pulled me close. Not too close, but close enough. He spun me once and laughed. I laughed too. I looked over Miles's shoulder and saw Graham. He was standing still, like someone paused him. His face was flat, but his eyes looked strange. Not angry, not loud, just blank. Mara shouted something I could not hear. People cheered anyway. A woman behind me held her phone high, the camera light shining like a small star. I knew I was being recorded, and I liked it. I hated that I liked it, but I did. Graham walked forward and asked me to stop. He said my name once, not in a sweet way, not in a mean way, just my name. I said he was embarrassing me. I said he was ruining the night again. He asked if I cared about him at all. I said he was being dramatic and making it about him. Miles leaned in and said Graham needed to chill. Graham did not push him. Graham did not swear. Graham did not threaten. He just stepped back. He asked me one more time to come with him. I said no. I said I was having fun, and he should be happy for me. He said he was going home. I said fine. I said he always left when he could not control me. He nodded once. He turned and walked away through the crowd. People moved aside because his face told them not to play. He did not look back. For a second, the dance felt less fun. It was like the air shifted. But then Mara grabbed my shoulders and said I had finally stood up for myself. I smiled and let her words cover the ugly feeling in my stomach. Later, on the smoking patio, my phone buzzed. Mara had posted a short clip already. She tagged me with a crown emoji. People were reacting fast. Hearts, laughing faces, comments like icon and queen. I read them like they were proof I was right. Miles stood beside me and asked if I wanted to talk somewhere quiet sometime. I said I was married. He said marriage did not mean I was happy. I said he did not know my life. He said he knew my eyes. I told myself he was just flirting. I told myself it did not matter. I told myself I could stop any time. When I finally left, I checked my messages. Graham had sent one text. He said the kids were asleep and he was home. He said he would handle school drop-off in the morning. He did not ask where I was. He did not call me names. He did not beg me to come back. That made me more angry than any fight. I got home after midnight. The house was dark. The living room light was off. I expected him to be waiting, but he was not. I walked into the kitchen and saw two things right away. His mug was washed and set on the far side of the counter, like it belonged to someone else. And on the fridge, held by a magnet, there was a neat note with one line, "Downtown 9:25 a.m." Monday morning, I walked into the office like nothing happened. I wore a blazer and a clean face. I told myself I looked professional, so my life was professional. I told myself a video on the internet could not touch me if I did not let it, but it touched me fast. When I entered the open-plan space, I saw two people glance up and then glance away. Someone's phone screen went dark when I passed. I heard my name in a low voice near the coffee machine. I pretended I did not. I said good morning to my team with a bright tone, like a hostess welcoming guests. At my desk, my laptop was already open. I liked to be first, even when I was not first. I checked my work chat and saw a message from Mara with laughing emojis. She told me the club clip was getting attention. She said I looked amazing and fearless. She asked if Graham was still sulking. I replied that he was fine and just dramatic. I added that he loved to act like a victim when I had fun. A few minutes later, my coworker Lena came by and asked if everything was okay at home. She said she saw something online and wanted to check. I smiled and said it was just a silly moment. I said my husband took things too seriously. I said he had issues with jealousy and I had been patient for years. Lena nodded in a slow way, like she did not fully believe me, but she did not argue. That was enough. Most people did not want facts. They wanted a simple story. My manager, Brent, called me into a quick meeting room before lunch. He asked if the video was going to cause drama with clients. He said our agency had a reputation. I said it was harmless and private, and strangers were making it a big thing. I said my husband left the club to be controlling, so he could make me chase him. I said I was tired of being treated like a child. Brent asked if I could keep my personal life off social media for a while. I said I could, but I said it like he was asking too much. I left the room and told myself they were all being unfair. I told myself the office loved drama when it was not their drama, and now they were pretending to be moral. At lunch, I walked outside with Mara, who worked 2 blocks away. We met on the sidewalk where food trucks lined up. Mara asked if Graham had apologized yet. I said he had not, and that proved my point. I told her he used silence as punishment. I said he liked seeing me anxious. I said he wanted me to beg. Mara said I should not beg. She said men respected power, not softness. I agreed. I said respect followed results, and I had results. I had a job. I had a body I worked on. I had friends. I had a life. I told myself Graham should be grateful I even brought him to places like that. Mara asked about Miles. I said Miles was nothing. I said he was just an old chapter. Mara raised her eyebrows and said the clip did not look like nothing. I told her the camera lied. I said angles made things seem closer than they were. I said I only danced to show Graham he could not control me. Mara smiled like I said something brave. While we ate, I checked my phone. Graham had not texted me. That was unusual. I sent him a message and asked if he was still upset. He replied later with a short answer, saying he was handling school drop-off and the kids were fine. He did not mention the club. He did not ask where I was. He did not ask about Miles. He kept it flat, like a work email. That calmness annoyed me. It felt like he was stepping out of the game, and I hated games without an opponent. That evening, when I got home, the house looked normal at first. The kids were playing in the living room. Graham was in the kitchen making pasta. He did not smile, but he did not glare either. He asked if my day was okay. I said it was busy. I asked if he was okay. He said he was fine. I watched him. He moved in a steady way. He did not rush. He did not hover around me. He acted like a polite roommate. That made me feel small, like I had lost my place. After dinner, he cleaned up without being asked. He put leftovers into labeled containers. I noticed the labels were neat, like someone practicing. He opened a drawer, and I heard a soft click, like a lock. I asked what that was. He said it was a new drawer organizer. I told him it seemed extra. He said he liked things tidy. Later, I walked past his desk and saw his laptop screen. A spreadsheet was open. I could not see the title, but I saw columns with dates and short notes. I asked what it was. He said it was household planning. I said he never planned like that before. He said he was trying to be responsible. I wanted to laugh, but I did not. Something about it felt cold. That night, when I woke up to get water, I heard a faint hum from the hallway closet. It sounded like the shredder. I stood still and listened. The hum stopped. The house went quiet again. I told myself he was shredding old mail. I told myself I was being paranoid. In the morning, I did school drop-off. In the pickup line that afternoon, I noticed a mother from Sophie's class staring at me. When I looked back, she looked away fast. A second mother leaned toward her and whispered. I heard my name clear as day. My stomach tightened, but I kept my face calm. Sophie climbed into the car and asked why Dad slept in the other room. I said he was being dramatic because he did not like a joke. Sophie asked if they were getting divorced. I laughed too quickly and said no. I told her Dad was just upset and would get over it. Sophie stared at my mouth like she was trying to read the truth from my teeth. At home, Graham was on the phone in the garage. He ended the call when he saw me. I asked who it was. He said it was work. I noticed the call log later when he left his phone on the counter. It showed a missed call with no caller ID. I told myself that meant nothing. I told myself he was probably talking to his boss about overtime. Still, the house felt split. 2 mugs sat on opposite sides of the counter. His keys hung alone on a hook. The guest bed looked slightly used, like he had stopped pretending it was temporary. In the evenings, his car was pointed toward the street instead of tucked into the driveway like before. It looked ready to leave. Mara kept sending me new screenshots of comments. Some people called me cruel. Some people called Graham weak. Mara told me to focus on the ones that praised me. I did. I told myself the public agreed with me, and that meant I was right. Then Miles texted me. He said he loved how I handled it. He said Graham looked like he wanted to cry. I told Miles not to talk about my husband like that. Miles replied that my husband made it easy. He asked if I wanted to meet for coffee, just to talk. I told myself coffee was not cheating. I told myself I deserved a friend who understood me. I told myself Graham forced me into this by being stiff and cold. I put my phone down and looked at the quiet house. Graham was reading to Noah in the living room. His voice was calm. He sounded like a good father. He looked up at me for a second, then back to the book, like I was a passing shadow. And for the first time, I wondered if he was not waiting for me to change. I wondered if he was preparing for me to stay exactly the same. Sunday dinner was supposed to fix things. That was what I told myself. If we sat at a long table and smiled, then the week would look normal again. If the older people saw us acting fine, then the story would change. I picked a family restaurant with white tablecloths and soft music. It was the kind of place where people spoke in careful voices. I liked that. Careful voices made bad facts feel smaller. Graham drove. The kids were in the back seat, quiet in a tired way. Sophie watched the road like she was counting exits. Noah held a toy car and tapped it on his knee. Graham kept both hands on the wheel. I asked if he was going to talk to me at dinner. He said he would be polite. I said being polite was not the same as being a husband. He said it was better than fighting. We arrived first. I made sure my hair looked good and my lipstick was neat. I wanted to look like a woman with nothing to hide. Donna and Peter came in a few minutes later. Donna hugged the kids and kissed their heads. She looked at me and hugged me too, but her arms felt stiff. Peter shook my hand and asked how work was. I said it was busy. I said I was carrying a lot. I said it like I was already the victim. My mother, Renee, arrived with my sister Tessa. Renee hugged me hard and whispered that I should not let anyone shame me. I said I would not. Tessa rolled her eyes like she wanted to disappear. We sat at the long table. Graham sat between Peter and Noah. I sat across from Donna, with Sophie beside me. Mara was not there, but her energy was. I could already hear her voice in my head saying I should own it. The waiter brought water. Everyone thanked him like they had rehearsed it. Donna asked how the kids were doing with school. Graham said they were fine, and he was keeping the routine steady. Donna said routine mattered. She looked at me when she said it. I smiled and said I loved routine too, but sometimes people needed joy. Renee asked Donna if she saw the video. Donna said she saw enough. Renee said it was a dance, not a crime. Donna said respect was not a joke. Renee said Graham was too sensitive. Donna said being sensitive was not the same as being weak. I watched them like a referee. Part of me liked the battle. It made me feel important. Graham stayed quiet. Peter asked him how he felt. Graham said he did not want to discuss it at dinner. Renee said silence was a tactic. Graham said he was not playing games. I said he was. And he knew it. I said he liked to punish people by being calm, because then he could look like the good person. Donna asked me if I thought it was kind to dance with my ex in front of my husband. I said it was funny and harmless. I said everyone was laughing. I said Graham chose to leave, and that was his choice. Donna asked why I needed to prove anything in public. I said because Graham acted like he owned my behavior. I said I was tired of living small. Tessa asked me, softly, if Miles was still around. I said no. I said he just showed up because the world was small. Renee said fate was weird. Peter did not smile. Graham looked at me and asked if I could be honest for once. I said I was always honest. He asked if I enjoyed humiliating him. I said I did not humiliate him. I just refused to hide my personality to protect his ego. I said it with a steady voice. I made it sound like therapy. Donna asked Graham if he wanted to say anything. Graham said he wanted to keep the kids out of adult problems. He said he did not want them hearing adults attack each other. Renee said he was making it sound like Eula was dangerous. Graham said he did not say that. I said he did not have to say it. His tone said it. The waiter brought food. For a few minutes, people chewed and pretended. I watched Graham cut Noah's chicken into small pieces. He asked Noah if it was too hot. Noah shook his head. Graham wiped Noah's hands with a napkin. He looked like a good father. It bothered me. It gave him power. Donna asked me if I had told Graham I was sorry. I said sorry for what? I said a confident woman did not apologize for dancing. Donna said confidence was not cruelty. Renee said Donna was being dramatic. Peter asked Renee to lower her voice. Renee asked why the man always got to set the volume. I said yes, exactly, like we were a team. Graham asked if we could focus on the kids and the meal. I said he wanted control again. He asked how wanting peace was control. I said because he decided the rules and expected everyone to follow. He said he did not decide anything. He was reacting to what happened. I said he was reacting too much. Donna leaned toward me and asked if I would keep Miles away from the children. I laughed and said, why would Miles even see the kids? Donna said because life had patterns. She said, when a person crossed a line once, they often crossed again. I said she was accusing me of cheating. Donna said she was asking for safety. That word made me angry. Safety. Like I was a threat. I told Donna she was being unfair. I said Graham told her lies. Graham said he did not tell anyone lies. He said he had not told anyone much of anything. Renee said that was because he was plotting. Graham did not react. He just swallowed and drank water. Then Graham's phone buzzed. He glanced down. I saw a missed call icon, and there was no name, just a blank space. He stood up and said he needed air. Donna asked if he was okay. He said he was fine. He walked outside without drama. I watched him go. and I felt a sharp worry I did not want to admit. Tessa watched me and asked if I knew what I was doing. I said yes. I said I was setting boundaries. Tessa said it did not look like boundaries. It looked like fire. When Graham came back, he sat down like nothing happened. He asked Sophie if she wanted dessert. Sophie said she wanted to go home. Her voice was small. Donna reached for Sophie's hand. Sophie held on tight. As we stood to leave, I saw Graham's keys on the table for a second. A tiny sticky note was folded around the ring. I caught the words, "bring forms," before he closed his fist around it. I asked what that was. He said it was nothing, just a reminder. I said reminders were for people hiding plans. He said plans were for people who wanted order. In the parking lot, Renee told me I should not let Donna and Graham gang up on me. I said I would not. Donna told Graham to call her later. He said he would. Peter asked Graham if he needed anything. Graham said no. On the drive home, the kids were silent. Sophie looked out the window. Noah fell asleep. Graham kept his eyes forward. I asked him what the call was. He said it was not my business right now. I said everything in a marriage was my business. He said then I should have acted like we were in a marriage. I opened my mouth to fight, but the words felt thin. I did not like that feeling. So I did what I always did. I told myself he was trying to scare me. I told myself he would come back to me once he saw I was not begging. I told myself this was just a phase. But when we got home, he carried Noah inside and walked straight to the guest room again, like the path was already chosen. The week after the family dinner felt like walking on a thin floor. Nothing broke in a loud way, but everything sounded different. Doors closed softer. Footsteps paused in the hallway. Even the fridge hum felt like it was listening. I tried to act normal. I made lunches. I asked the kids about school. I told myself routine would pull Graham back into place. But Graham did not move back. He moved away in small, clean steps. One morning, I came downstairs and saw 2 mugs on opposite counters. Mine was near the sink. His was near the window, like it belonged to someone who did not share space. I asked why he kept doing that. He said he liked things organized. I said he was doing it to make a point. He said he was not making points. He was making coffee. I wanted him to snap. I wanted him to say something ugly so I could show everyone. But he stayed lawful in his behavior, even in small ways. He did not block doors. He did not scream. He did not call me names. He just changed the shape of our life. At work, I kept hearing whispers. A woman in the break room asked if my husband really left me at the club. I said he left because he wanted attention. I said he loved to act like a victim. I said he was punishing me with silence. My words sounded strong in my mouth, but they felt weak in my stomach. Mara told me to stop worrying. She said men always came back when they got lonely. She said I should post more and look happy. I posted a picture of a latte and my nails. I wrote a caption about choosing peace. People liked it. That should have helped, but it did not. That Thursday, I, accidentally, went to the gym near Miles's place. I told myself it was convenient. I told myself I needed endorphins. I did not even work out. I sat in my car in the parking lot and scrolled my phone until Miles texted and asked if I was nearby. When he came out, he smiled like we were still a team. He asked how I was holding up. I said my husband was being cold on purpose. Miles said Graham was trying to scare me. I said yes, exactly. Miles said I deserved someone who did not try to control my joy. I let those words land because they matched the story I already wanted. Miles asked if I wanted to talk in his car for a minute. I said it was just talking. I said we were adults. I said it would be rude to act like he was dangerous. We sat and talked with the windows cracked. He asked if I missed how easy it used to feel with him. I said, my marriage felt heavy lately. He said heavy things sink. I said maybe some things should sink. I went home with a hot face and a calm voice, like I had done nothing at all. Graham was in the hallway landing, holding a folded blanket. He asked where I was. I said I worked late and then stopped for gas. He asked why the gas receipt was not in the car like it usually was. I said I threw it away. He said okay, in a tone that made the word feel like a closed door. That night Noah had trouble sleeping. He asked where Dad was. I said Dad was right here, just in a different room. Noah asked if Dad was mad at him. I said no, never. I wanted to add that Dad was mad at me, but I did not say it. Sophie stood in the doorway and watched us like a small adult. She asked if we were still a family. I said of course. I said families had hard weeks. Sophie asked why Dad did not sit with us anymore. I said Dad needed space because he was stressed. I said stressed like it was a normal word, not a warning. In the middle of the night, I heard a soft beep from the living room. It was not a loud sound, more like a phone app starting and stopping. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself Graham was watching a video. Still, I stayed awake longer than I wanted. The next day, I noticed a faint toner smell near the office corner where our printer sat. A blank page was in the tray, like it had spit something out and then stopped. I asked Graham if the printer was broken. He said he tested it. I said tested it for what? He said for printing. He started keeping his keys in his pocket. I used to know where they were at all times. That made me feel like I was losing access to basic things, like time and space. On Saturday, I opened my banking app while standing in the supermarket line. A notification popped up. A new account alert. My hands went cold. I stared at it like it was a prank. I clicked, but it only showed that changes had been made, and I might want to review. No drama, just clean language. I went home and asked Graham what it was. He asked what I meant. I showed him my phone. He looked at it and said he was organizing finances. I said organizing meant hiding. He said organizing meant protecting the household. I said I was part of the household. He said the kids were the household too. I told myself he was stealing from me. I told myself he was trying to trap me. I told myself he had no right to plan anything without my permission. Then a small voice in my head asked why I expected permission when I did not give it. That afternoon, I went upstairs to look for a charger and saw his desk drawer open a crack. Inside was a clean file tree on his laptop screen, not a messy desktop like before. I caught the names Archive A and Archive B for a second before he stepped in and closed the laptop. I asked what he was archiving. He said household notes. I said that sounded suspicious. He said it sounded responsible. On his phone, a simple alarm went off while he was making the kids' dinner. The label flashed, paper drop. He tapped it off without looking at me. I asked what paper drop meant. He said it was a reminder for errands. I said what errands. He said errands that did not involve me right now. I felt my control slip, and I did not handle it well. I called Mara and told her Graham was plotting. Mara asked if I wanted her to talk to him. I said no, because if she talked to him, it would look like I needed help. I wanted to look like I was above it. That evening, I pushed harder. I told Graham he was acting like a stranger in his own home. He asked if I wanted him to act like a husband after what I did. I said I did not do anything wrong. I said I danced and he overreacted. I said his silence was emotional abuse. I said he was trying to break me without touching me. He listened without interrupting. He let me fill the room with my words. That calm made me talk faster, like I could win by volume. When I finally stopped, he asked one simple thing. He asked if I was still seeing Miles. I laughed and said that was crazy. I said he was paranoid. I said he needed therapy. I said he was making up stories because he could not control me. Graham looked at me for a long moment. Then he nodded once, like he had reached a decision and did not need my help. He said he was done arguing. He said he would handle it properly. Monday started like a normal workday, but it did not feel normal. My phone had been quiet all weekend. Graham only sent short messages about the kids. He wrote what time he would pick them up and what they ate. He did not ask where I went. He did not ask who I saw. He did not try to pull me back. That morning, he made breakfast without looking at me much. He asked if I would be home by 6. I said yes. He said okay, and told the kids their shoes were by the door. Sophie watched him like she was trying to learn his face. Noah asked if Dad would read tonight. Graham said he would, depending on the schedule. The word schedule sounded heavy. I drove to my office feeling irritated, like I was being ignored on purpose. I told myself Graham was doing this to scare me. I told myself he wanted me to panic and apologize. I told myself I would not give him that. At my building, the lobby smelled like coffee and polished stone. People in suits moved fast. I walked toward the elevators and checked my email on my phone. Then I saw Graham. He was standing near the seating area by the front desk. He was not blocking anything. He was not angry. He looked calm, like he was waiting for a train. A man in a plain jacket stood a few steps away with a folder in his hand. The folder looked thick. I noticed that detail too quickly, like my brain already knew. I walked up and asked Graham what he was doing there. He said he needed to talk for a minute and it would be quick. I asked why he could not talk at home. He said this was the proper way. I told him he was being dramatic. He did not react. The man in the jacket stepped forward and asked if I was Eulalie Sorrell. I said yes, and my voice sounded smaller than I wanted. He said he had documents for me. I looked at Graham like he was part of a prank. Graham's face did not change. I said I did not accept anything. The man said I did not need to accept in the way I meant, but he needed to confirm my identity and deliver the papers. He held them out with both hands. I saw my name printed on the top page. I saw the date. I saw our address. Everything looked official and clean. 2 co-workers from my floor walked into the lobby at the same time. I recognized their eyes right away. They slowed down. One of them pretended to look at a plant. The other stared at the elevator numbers, like they were a show. I asked Graham if he really brought this to my job. He said he did not choose my job. He chose a public place with witnesses so it could not turn into a fight. I said he was trying to humiliate me. He said I humiliated him first, and he was not doing that now. He said he was doing it properly. I said this was because of one dance. He said it was not one dance, and I knew it. I said he had no proof of anything. He said proof was not a feeling, and he had enough. The man in the jacket asked me to sign that I received the documents. My hands shook, and I hated that they shook. I signed because the lobby felt like it was closing in, and I wanted it to end. I flipped through pages fast. I expected a threat. I expected angry words. But it was mostly plain language. It was paperwork, like a machine speaking. I saw the word petition. I saw temporary orders. I saw dates and rules. There was a section about parenting time, and it listed school days and weekends, with drop-off times. There was a section about money that said neither of us could move large amounts or make unusual spending without agreement. There was a section about the home that said who stayed there for now. There was a section about communication that said we should keep it focused on the children and use written messages. It felt like someone had taken my life and turned it into a calendar. I told Graham this was cruel. I said he was trying to take my kids. He said he was not taking them. He was protecting their routine. He said the schedule was balanced and lawful. He said, if I wanted changes, there was a process for that. I said he was acting like a stranger. He said I made him a stranger when I decided respect was a joke. I tried to pull the story back into my hands. I told him he was cold and punishing. I told him he was doing this because he could not handle a strong woman. Graham said he could handle me when I was honest. He said he could not handle me when I lied, and then called it freedom. I looked down again and saw a line about school pickup permissions starting immediately. I saw that today was already counted as a day with a set plan. I saw that there were instructions for next steps, with dates that did not care about my feelings. My mouth went dry. I wanted to call Renee. I wanted to call Mara. I wanted to call Miles. But the lobby was too bright. and the paper felt too heavy. Graham said he would not argue in public. He said he would leave now. He told me I could message him about the kids only, and he would respond. I asked if he was proud of himself. He said he was not proud, he was finished. He turned and walked out through the glass doors. The security camera above the desk blinked a small red light as he passed. I stood there holding the pages, and the only thing I could hear in my head was the sound of my own pen scratching my name onto the receipt line.